Hi everyone, welcome to the new at SU blog hub where we are uh, celebrating celebration. So our blog hub simply celebration, and it's focusing on theme this month is focusing on simple stamping. So m- my product, which I'm highlighting, is from celebration is the tree lot dies, and it is on page 12 of the celebration catalog. These dies are free with a $180 order. This coordinates with um, one of our products which are in a mini catalog, which is the Trees for Sale stamp set. Now that's on um, page 39. If you see JD, that just means July to December, the July to December catalog. So I'm going to show that stamp set to you. So that's the stamp set. The stamp set is $39 Australian, um, and you can shop that in my online store. Contact me to order that. So you need to reach your order needs to be 180 in order to get these dies free. Now these dies I will be using this uh, caravan and an accessory like just the top, and which it cuts out, so you can cut it out in different colors or different types of cardstock. So it's simple stamping, and I'm showing you um, giving you some tips for simple stamping. The dies automatically pop this up to a bit more work, I guess, for the stamping, because you just have to do a little bit of die cutting. But in general, this card is quite quick to make. I'm just going to show you how to uh, assemble this caravan. I'm just done minimal with that, but I'm going to do some watercoloring. July is watercoloring month, and World Watercoloring Month, and I'm using Fluid 100 watercolor paper, and I think watercoloring is one of those techniques that really lend itself. It's uh, for simplicity. It's great for a beginner uh, because um, I think it gives great results. And although you think, oh, it, it's watercoloring, it's not. It can be easy, and that's what I want to show you today. So for our stamps, I'm going to be using that one. So and those two trees and the tree outline. And there are many ways you can make a simple project. Just look, have a bit more detail, but it be still a little bit simple, easy. So it's not doesn't take too much time. So firstly, I've got my spritzer. It's just got water, and I'm going to spritz this piece of fluid 100. So in my blog, on the actual on my blog post, I have got a link to a watercolor pack, which I've put together to enable you to come to the $90 mark, so you can get a freebie. Now, that one in that pack, I have put shimmery white cardstock because that's something I use quite often as well. But of course, you can add your fluid 100 as well, and if you need any other suggestions what you can add, just let me know, and then you can reach your 180. Now, so that's quite you can see a bit liquidy on one side. So I'm bringing in my watercolor brush, and I'm going to give that a bit of a clean. So just wipe off the excess. I do need that color, but that's okay. So we're going to stamp that in mint macaron. So I want it a little bit wet. And so mint macaron. Bring my piercing Matte gives you a good base for stamping with your photopolymer stamps. I am going to stamp off first, and then I'm just going to stamp here, and it's going to be very a washed out look, and I can always go back and if it's too washed out we can do it in full strength, and then even after, if you dry it, I think what has happened, we'll just go back over, and that side actually didn't get too much water, and that's probably why it's not blending too well. I'm just going to bring in my water painter. This is just water in this, and just going to run that through, and I might spritz it a bit as well because that bit missed a little bit of, so that's just going to blend that. Get a tissue, rub that, and so it's still a bit wet, and I'll run that, stamp that again. That's better. So now I've got just a bit of a murky background there. Then I'm going to just heat set it just to dry it. So you don't have to do this. I'm just doing it for the purpose of the video. You can just leave it to dry naturally. And with my heat gun, I just go over the back first. So this is just to speed this up, but you can leave it as is. And just let it dry fully before you just need it to dry a little bit before doing the next step. That's enough. All right. So now this is that inner image of the more detailed image. And then I'm going to stamp that full strength. So it's not going to be washed out because now our stamp is, our base paper, our fluid 100 is not fully wet there. Then I've got some ink refill here. You can even use your ink pad. The water painters are great. Have some, I'm just going to get my other water painter, which is a bit of a wider brush. Let's really think a bit more water. And just to create a bit of a color down there. So ground is not so stark. And this will, your project will look different to mine, and my any two won't be the same. That's the good thing with watercolor. So it's just very quick and a bit of fun. Right, so when you get water painters, you get 3 in a pack. They're 3 different sizes. Right, so the next what I'm going to do is use that, we're going to use the dots and we're going to use the stars. For the dots, I have got polished pink. And with the dots, I'm going to stamp off. So that just to stamp it off on a scrap piece of paper, and just I'm stamping around it. Then we've got some Night of Navy. So my color scheme is this. Mint background polished pink and Night of Navy. It's something I thought would be nice. So pick whatever you've got. match it up. Just gonna pull that out and then just add some stars here and there. It's just a bit of fun. Of course, you're not gonna get pink dots with the Starry Sky, but having some fun with this. So I'm gonna give this a good dry. So when you're doing this at home, and if you don't have a heat gun, that's fine. Just leave it to dry. So my piece of cardstock is about 13 centimeters by 8.5 centimeters. That's what the piece I'm using. But you will see that it's not going to match up because I'm going to do something with it that will invariably change that. So now for the die cutting part. So oops, that was my heat gun. So for the die cutting part, and this is you can change these colors with the caravan. First, I'm going to cut this in white. Then I'm going to cut this, die cut it in polish pink, and we'll cut this bit with craft cardstock. I think this caravan is probably the favorite in this bundle or in this die. It is not a bundle, so you can't buy the dies. It is a free earn. The caravan cuts out like that, and then you get two pieces which have been die cut there. Now we're going to cut that caravan again in polished pink. Now I'm going to narrow a piece of polished pink so it won't cut the entire caravan, but I'm mainly after, oh it does, but I just after the center bit. I use scrap or whatever you've got. Let's say that all pops out. So firstly, we will put some glue. So we've got these two little bits from our craft cardstock, which basically fit like that and at the base. It's all done for you. So we'll glue that. Next, we'll cut this up so that we just want that pink section. Let's go straight through that door. So this is paper piecing, I guess, a bit of that, and I'll cut around that door. It's easy because the scissor automatically will go through those markings, the impression made by the die. So now it's like a bit like a jigsaw. It should just slot in. Just bring that down a touch. So this is probably the thing that's just, yeah, not that it takes time, but this is would be of all the things in this card, that'll be the thing that takes the most time. Okay, so we'll glue this together. And that's your little caravan. For the back of the window, I've just got a bit of scrap, right? Just use up your little bits of scrap here. And actually, or you could even leave it open, but I felt it then, if I just felt it needed something underneath. So I'll trim that down and that around. The easiest way is to just put the glue around and pop that there. So now I got a little window as well. It does die cut a window, but then you have to stick it back in. So I think this is easier. Now I've got some just smoky slate stamping blends, just to color in a little bit here. And I'll bring in the lighter one. So just for the window, you can go to town on this, but if you wanted to add coloring more, like a light, sort of add those pretty lights in there. But I'm just trying to keep it minimal and just add the look of glass. And so you don't need too many supplies. Color in a door. Now we've got this piece here, which we prepared before, and I want to make sure it's completely dry. We're going to bring in our paper trimmer. That's one of the basic tools if you are looking at starting in paper crafting, or if you thinking about getting the starter kit, and this is one of the things I would recommend that you get. So I cut this down to 3 centimeter strips. That's about 1¼ inches. Go this way. You can have a simple project, but just by the arrangement of how you do things, it just makes it more interesting. So I've got a polished pink card base. Use your bond folder to burnish that well. And now we're going to just stick these down. It doesn't have to be in the order you cut it either. And just add some interest. So let's glue that down. You can add dimensionals if you wanted to. Make sure you do glue it well, because because of its watercolor cardstock, it just takes, it does bend a bit. Please subscribe to my channel so you can get updates of my videos. Some of them I don't always do on live, so that's a wait for you to be involved. And my regular Facebook Live is on a Wednesday night at 7:30. So we've got our caravan. Let's put some dimensionals. There. Then I've got a little strip of cardstock, which I will cut down, but we're going to stamp the sentiment in Night of Navy. So keep to your same colors. You have your supplies already. Use the paper piecing or the piercing mat. It will give you a better image for your photopolymer stamps. So stamp. Going as close to the edge on this side as possible, because then I just need to trim the top on the other side. That's not a very good stamping. Let's try again. Let's trim that down. And because I flipped this over, the lip of the where I've trimmed it is showing, so I just cut that down. Just flattened it with the bond folder, and that happens when you flip it to where you originally cut it down. So we've got that. And then we can just add our sentiment on the left there. With this project, we had to choose a tool or accessory. So my celebration item was a tool, so it was a die. So I have not used any accessories, as in the sense of, I guess, embellishments or anything like that. If you can use perhaps some rhinestones would look nice, or a bit of ribbon if you wanted to make it a little bit more sparkly for Christmas. But that is a nice simple card that would be quick to make with the watercoloring, because you could do a whole sheet, maybe get a whole A4, create that watercoloring, have it ready to go, cut your strips down, and then just make it as needed. All right, so that's that card. I hope you have enjoyed that, and you will try some watercoloring for World Watercolor Month. And if I can be of any assistance, please give me a call or contact me via email, and I can certainly help you with your stamping up supplies. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye.